Hello again, everyone. We're back here for another video. This time, though, unfortunately, it's my daily driver truck. If you look here, that nice crusty line, there's actually a tiny pinhole there. I already took some video of that. I'll link that in next. Anyway, now that we're here, since that's leaking, I need a new one. Luckily, to my local Napa Auto Parts, I got another one. They just delivered it. So now comes the fun time of changing this out off camera and unhook these because it's easier to with two hands. Just a little nib in there that you have to stick a screwdriver in, pick up. Pops right off. Same thing. This has a lock on it though. So you have to pull this lock back, and then you can do the same thing, and it pops right off. Now that that's done, I can move this wire right out of the way. Now comes the fun time of taking these clips off. And we're back. So as before, we unhook these, and then I start unhooking the lines. With this one was a little two-piece get up here. This white one was on this side, and this green one was on this side, so you just pulled that out, and then that one came. If I move my hand, then that one came out. Set those aside so we can't lose them. And then with this one, actually when I went to pull it off, it broke free. So a little bit of finagling, and I was able to get that little stub out. So now that we got that one disconnected, with this one, it was just these two ears. You pull them back and push them down, and then you can weasel a screwdriver into the back, pop it down, a little bit of wiggling. We got that one off. And then that one. That's your high pressure line that actually sends it up to the engine. So as soon as we started wiggling it, it actually just broke. And in there, I still have a little piece in there that I have to get out. So I'm hoping I can save this and not have to change it. If not, that's gonna suck. But we shall see. But anyway, once you get those off, you can just gently tuck them here out of the way. And then comes the fun of removing your locking ring, which is this ring right here. This was really cruddy, so what I ended up doing was firing up my air compressor, blew out all the crap, and then soaked it with some penetrating oil because it was just to try to get it in there. Took my little screwdriver and kept cleaning out the ring in between and anything around, and kept blowing it out, and then eventually I was able to get my big screwdriver, lock it into a corner, and just keep tapping away, and it eventually unlocked. Make sure you go around and spread out the force. And once that's out, it's just simple as looking through a camera. There we go. Just as simple as getting that up out of the way. I'm going to try to clean this if I can't find a new one. Hopefully I can find a new one. And then we're left with that. Okay, we're back. Cleaned it out. Took a paper towel and just tried to wipe off as much crud as I could. After that, took a screwdriver, popped this up. It's just as simple. Be careful. As you can see, obviously there's still gas in there. I'm going to try to carefully dump this back into the tank. Sorry that most of that wasn't on the frame. Now that the old one's out, I can go get the new one, prep the new one, and put the new one back in. Be right back. Alright, we're back. Clean that out, put a little bit of oil on there for lubrication purposes for the O-ring. Now to prep the new one, pretty much all I had to do, there was a little bag that covered the float. Just had to cut the little zip tie off that was holding the bag on. There's the O-ring. I greased that up good. Now I'm going to attempt to put this in one-handed. All you gotta do really is fish your float in first. Slowly lower it down. It only goes in one way. Now this is the part where you want to line up. It'll focus the O-ring into that channel, which it is, and then ever so carefully okay, we're back. I got the new one in. Took a little bit of persuading. I also have the lock ring sit on. I've decided to just use the old one. I did scrub the underside to get rid of the rust. Cleaned it up. I have it set on here. Now all you have to do is spin it back around. Pretty much the same process. Gently tap around with the screwdriver until it's finally locked in. I cleaned out the fittings. So now it's just going to be as simple as plug the fittings back in. This one you got to plug in. And don't forget, you had the two little connectors that have to go back into that as well to hold it onto the pipe. Then it's just the electrical connectors, and then be time to test it out. We'll be back for the test. And we're back for the final update. I have the plugs all plugged back in. I have the two connectors plugged in. And I was also able to save this connector. I was able to get the little stub out. I cleaned it out good. Changed the little O-ring that's inside. Came with the kit. So I might as well use it. Now that it's all in, we have no leaks. Big improvement.